Hello, beautifuls and beloveds. What are we going to talk today about? We're going to talk about red ribbons, marketing, and looks like some other people are trying to cherry pick and rip off from our stuff. So we're doing a corporate call out hashtag, right? First, let's get a few things out of the way. And I don't mean it in that way, by out of the way, as in, oh no, here's something we gotta do, obligatory sigh. No. This is very important. This is part of our marketing and branding. It just looks like me for a reason. This is my little dolly. And interestingly enough, this ribbon was completely untied and nobody here did it. And we found it. You know, if somebody has a key to or a means to get into our unit, we are going to bust you someday, somehow. We're going to figure it out. Really, what is your issue, you sick little blankety blanks? What, untying the red ribbon, and what is that supposed to symbolize for us? What, undoing a dolly's dress, meaning you want to undo my dress and rape me? Already been done, thank you very much. You come near me and you will not have any left to you. You know, it's completely legal for a woman or a man or anybody who is getting harmed to completely use whatever force to defend themselves. So don't even try it. So if you're trying to scare me, it's not working. And yeah, we found that very interesting. So, you know, hands off my doll and all my stuff. Anyway, Noelle Rose. She symbolizes triumph, okay? Now, red ribbons. Also our trademark, also our brand, also our story, my story. It belongs to our company. And this is a retelling of my life story. It gets really interesting because we've found out so much along the way since we actually first started branding red ribbons. And it's an allegorical fairy tale, fictitious, not really, but it is, you know, made for kids and adults. We have an adult unabridged version as well. And it shows how corporations basically enslaved this poor girl and ruined her life. And she had to keep staying alive by telling a story. Yeah, very Scheherazade, but that's exactly what's been happening to me. We'll get back to that in a minute. Here's more. Here's, you know, red ribbons and our video, DVD, and all of that. You can purchase it any place that we've used other people's music. You know, we have licensing to use it live. We did not pay for licensing to resell it, so my husband just relayed his own music in places. You know, it's all good. Most of it was his anyway. There was like only 2 or 3 pieces that weren't. Here, red ribbons. The adult version, and this has another part to it, guys. This is the adult version of this, but it's not fictitious at all, and it's pretty in your face. There's more to it than just that. Okay, can you hand me these things? I can't really reach.
Yeah.
Thank you, love. And why don't you hand me that, and we'll put it on top of there, and we're ready to go. Alright, so okay, so let's talk about this whole red ribbons and the branding and what we've been seeing lately. Okay, let's just talk about the definition of trafficking. Basically, and there's more to it than just this, but basically it is a term for moving people's being, their bodies, or
Transporting, basically.
yeah. And you can traffic drugs, you can traffic, not that you can, but I'm just saying it's illegal to do. But trafficking comes in many forms. So to just refer to children being trafficked as trafficking is really bad to do, because you're not defining it. And my red ribbons and all that we do does define it properly. Let's see. There's so much to say on this. Oh my gosh, it's like I have to do an outline and how I use my notebook and I doodle on it. It's that big of a deal. and can be that comprehensive. But trafficking, yeah, guys, you guys who are marketing this, you obviously have no idea what you're talking about. You have not done your research. You are just basing it on things you've heard in the media. So no kudos to you. Kudos, of course, for wanting to stop it and wanting to raise awareness. But you're raising awareness, again, it's that redirect thing. Oh, she's talking about trafficking for what it really means. No, let's redirect it and do, what is it called now? That stop it, end it,
It might be end it.
end it. So I don't know. It was some weird hashtag, and I'm like, that's pretty lame. I'm just gonna put it right out there and say it is very lame. First of all, it doesn't define anything, and it's overused, way overused term. And,
Vague.
huh?
Very vague.
Yeah, very vague. That's horrible, actually. So, you know, not that I'm trying to help anybody form this marketing thing, but I also saw people going like this. This is very Third Reich, by the way.
Like pro Third Reich.
Yeah, pro Third Reich. And I'm like, oh my God, what are they doing with red X's? That means death, usually. And so you can spin it and say, seeing death to a trafficking problem, but it's very creepy, it's very offensive, and it's quite really frightening. As Jewish people with a Jewish heritage, also Christian and Aryan, we have everything here. Native American, I don't know. We're African too.
Mm-hmm.
Small percentage, but my ancestry goes to Africa. And not that far back either. What is that, third generation, fourth generation, something like that. Yours would be fourth, I think.
Yeah.
So anyway, you know, I take great offense to this with X's because, and the red X's, because I can see the cherry picking happening again from our branding. And, you know, you guys are just flat wrong. Anybody who's supporting that, really look into it because it's bad branding and it's a huge mistake. Okay? First of all, trafficking is not usually done with older people or older kids, not the late teens. Why? Because they can fight back. They're too much of a problem, they have strong memories, and they can talk, and they can escape, they can plot, they can think. That is why these horrible people use little children, babies even. Come on now, they can't fight back. That is why this whole thing is really pissing me off because, look, you're not even representing it properly. You're redefining what it is as a redirect. Oh, let's try to make it look like it's a nice package and make it look like we're all supportive of anti-trafficking, and we'll just put it together or wrap it up in another red X or red bow or whatever the heck they're doing. And then there. Put it out there in the media, let's pay this one service, and all of a sudden they have a whole bunch of likes. I mean, we know how this is done. I can tell you companies who do this, I can show you, I mean, right? We have done extensive research. So, you know, we're not buying it. And it makes me mad because we're here doing really good work and working hard, and our lives are on the line because of what we're doing. There's a lot of money being made by trafficking kids. It's horrible. So think about it. If you're marketing that, if you're doing that, how do you redirect and deflect from what you're really doing? You put it up in this semi-shiny package, which is just a whitewashed tomb or sepulcher, which the Bible talks about. Empty and hollow and ugly on the inside, and it's all shiny on the outside. But this isn't even shiny. Of all the movements and all the things that I've seen in the past 8 to 10 years, this is probably the worst thought out one. It was put out there, and I think it's because they're trying to parallel our movement and what we're doing, just like that whole whistleblower thing. I was like, wait, hello guys, we sent the Democrats first, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'd have to look at all of our receipts again. Remember, we did that in the last one in the State of the Union. It was called the State of Our Union because we were talking about our family union and playing off of President Trump's doing his speech. And yeah. Anyway, so we were showing you how it was paralleling, and we have even more information and more details about that. Don't do that. Come on. Be really good human beings if you can. I doubt it now. So, you know, and it's not all the Democrats, but specific ones, look at our list. What are you guys doing exactly? Well, we know, and it's wrong. So we think this is another attempt to parallel our movement, because it's like, uh-oh, she's coming out there with the corporate call-out hashtag, the red ribbons hashtag, the modern day slavery hashtag. Okay, let's address that part. Why don't you do some talking? 'Cause I'm just really mad right now.
Okay, well, which part of the modern day slavery thing? The spying, or?
Why don't you address what you want? You've got an amazing brain, so.
Yeah, I need something to work off of.
I know. Address the definition of what modern day slavery is.
Okay, well, I guess grammatically it would be modern slavery, slavery in modern times, which would be of a recent time using modernized methods to put someone in slavery, which would not be like regular slavery with like chains and all that. It would be more like not allowing a person to operate in society and gleaning off of them constantly.
Yeah, by using electronic digital surveillance devices that they already own to control them, to control who they're allowed to contact, right? How many times I can't even get in touch with most of my family, my best friend. As nobody had a fight. Nobody's mad at each other.
Yeah.
That's a good clue right there. So, yeah, that's another thing to look at. Trafficking has been around since even before Jesus' time. This is nothing new. It's been horrible. And then you have slavery, Africa, and what our country did. Same thing. It was body trafficking.
Yeah.
So, you can't just use trafficking as all encompassing to only mean, trafficking children, because the term, guys, look in your dictionary. Did you guys even go to school? What grammar is? I mean, I'm not claiming that I'm perfect. How many times do I use malapropisms and I combine one thing with the other? Because, I can be a ding-dong. It's one of my weaknesses, too. One of my strengths and weaknesses at the same time. But, yeah, exactly what you were saying. Very good. Very good point. So a modern day slavery would be something in modern contemporary times, which is now, and using a different means of doing it, something that is modern that wasn't used in the past. There's no modern means of trafficking these children right now. It's all done. You have it by vehicle. In Jesus' time and before, it was boat and carriages. Now it's trucks, trains, planes, you name it, whatever. It's not hard to see, but that's not modern day slavery. Is it a form of slavery? Oh yes, and I'm not saying that I'm for it. I am completely against it. I just don't like how it's being marketed. I don't like how the people who are marketing this are cherry picking from my stuff once again. And I don't like the fact that they're doing it very strong now, because I'm trying to raise up my voice against it and what's being done to me. Do you see? They don't want you to know that modern day slavery is what they put upon me falsely. They are making me be a Scheherazade. In other words, little girl, you get to stay alive as long as you keep telling us your stories so we can glean from them, so we have content on the internet. So we have things for, all of our creative out there. And I'm like, too bad. I'm not going to do that. So we're fighting this.
Yeah.
So you know what? We're just going to start doing our Twitter too. We're going to start doing all of our social media. And every time we see somebody do this, we're going to say, that is wrong. I mean, this whole thing. Watch The Wall, right? It was Pink Floyd, Roger Waters, all that great stuff. I thought that was very well done. Love the music, great, all around. I would give it a 12 out of a 10. That's how good I thought it was. Is it a little racy and a little, cringy here and there because it's so strong. But I was like, no, this is still good. It should exist. It's a good film. It was well done, good message. But you know how they pump like this, and they put their arms up and they pump. This is a very Third Reich symbol, and you're doing let's stop trafficking with red X's here, which again that means it means death. And death to trafficking, okay, I can buy that, but it is a frightening symbol. It doesn't come across as like, what was it, the no hate thing? That was very well done.
Yeah.
Right? Very nice, very well done. Creative, it had a motif, but it used the red, white, and black colors again, which I'm starting to get a little suspicious of why certain groups are doing that. Because those are our colors, but we don't mean it in a negative way. It's very positive. That's our branding. And so I'm just very concerned at what is happening with all of these things, because as we're doing research and digging and digging, we're finding, guys, anybody can do it. We are coming up with so much stuff, and I'm like, what the heck? So yeah, modern day slavery is what's being put upon me. I am not choosing to do this. It's just that anything we own that is electronic, which is a modern tool, is being used against me to extrapolate, to surveil, how do you use that term properly?
Spy? I don't know what the proper term is.
It's surveillance. But the method of, the action, surveillance is, what would that be? Like present progressive is an ing word, but surveilling is not really grammatically correct.
Surveying?
Yeah, I have to look that up. I want to find out, though. It's very interesting to me. I love grammar in the English language, and I'm really trying not to butcher it. But anyway, it's being used against me. So that is modern day slavery. And you know how I go like this? This is not this. Totally not. This is butterfly. And you know that because I've been doing this for a long time. It's been in the media. It's been printed in the press. And this is the term for my beloved. I have a lot of bee flies. There was one original one, and I'm one as well. But, it's a very loving gesture. This, while they might be trying to spin it to be a loving, it's very frightening. I'm not down for it. This is very anti-Jewish, too. I think I did my homework well enough. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what we found. And it's just mindlessly being thrown around. Okay, let's do this and hurry up and brand this and do that because she's rising up with all of this modern day slavery. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I've been using this and talking about this for a very long time, guys. And I'm not saying that other people haven't used it beforehand. It's just that we are actually trying to market it. We are actually trying to brand it in with what we're already doing with this. And I'm not going to say we're trying to. We're not backing down. Fine, you want to call your thing modern day slavery? You're going to look like fools because that is not what's happening. These people don't even understand. Or they rightfully understand, but they just want to take from me again. That whole paralleling thing to get on top to suffocate what I'm really saying. But you know what? It's not going to work this time because we have very, very important people that are very, very interested in what's happening to us, to me personally. I'm going to fight you guys. This isn't going to happen anymore. So you're going to be tagged. Every time we see that, you're going to be tagged, and we're going to show you how you're ripping us off again. Because I'm done. We're done. The gloves are off, I have nothing to lose because y'all took it away from me. So, but when you have nothing, that is when creativity sparks and it's at its best. And I know you guys are very, very frustrated because you're not able to hear us as well anymore because we took certain precautions. Too bad. Okay, so we talked about the definition of what trafficking really is. We're going to sum up. Trafficking. You can traffic anything. Is it legal? No, probably not. But to say that trafficking only applies to children, having this hideous thing done to children, is a mistake. It's wrong. Okay? It is trafficking children is what it is. It's child abuse. It's a lot of horrible things. Okay, so kudos for wanting to stop it, kudos for trying to stop it, but not kudos for the marketing of it and not doing your research with all these symbols you're trying to throw in there all of a sudden and mooch off of us, hoping that you suppress our things, you know, using the red X's again and, you know, red ribbons, trying to, you know, parallel and glean and cover up, and we're not buying it, and we're going to make sure that nobody else buys it either, because this is a very important thing. If we want this to actually stop, this ain't going to stop it, because you're basically almost contributing to, this is anti-Jewish, people. I'm not down for that, okay? It's like nobody did their homework on that. It's very offensive, actually. It's very frightening. Okay, so definition of trafficking, to move something. And children have been trafficked from even before Jesus' time. If you read the Bible, he talks about, you know, the abuse of children to stop and what was being done. As evil as men's hearts are, it dates back prior. The second humanity was born, their evil was born too. So, you know, sad, but anybody will do anything to make a buck. Really sick and twisted. It makes me so mad. So guys, now, stay away from that kind of stuff. You're really shooting yourself in the foot. Is that how the term is applied?
Yeah.
And it's terrible marketing. Oh my. And I think that you need to stop trying to, we researched it, this is butterfly. It could be a bird too. But this is what we meant it to be, as something beautiful. I did it like this, I did it like this, and there's photos of me in the media doing that. And it was a form of communication to say, you know what, there's a whole bunch of weird crap going on around us, but just know that this is, you know, love, that it's there. And I'm just sending to the original one, I know you love me, and I'm so sorry what happened with our relationship. I wish it wasn't that way, but I still believe, as does he, in the good Lord above, that, you know, he will work it out somehow. I don't know, I can't do anything. I'm trying, I really am trying, but it's not going down. Every time I try to fix things, these evil people come along and they make it look like I'm trying to do more things to this, and like I'm not. Oh my God, you guys totally twisted my words and twisted my intentions, and they're really evil. That's what they do. They want to divide people, because these two people or several people can get together and you know, put them out and put them down, put them out of business for doing sinful, evil, criminal things. You know, I get it. So unfortunately, when good people try to stand up, the bad people are trying to suppress. So yeah, I do have a problem with the marketing of that. And what else? Trafficking definition. It's been going on since before Jesus' time. This is very offensive. The hashtag is lame. End it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's the reason.
What Trump is doing with the border wall, that'll end it.
Yeah, it's one part of it.
Yeah, one part of it. Come on now. Okay, so yeah, we're good with that. Now, let's talk about, how are we doing on time?
You have 5 minutes.
Okay, I think I can. So we're going to call this series Scheherazade, Modern Day Slavery, because not only am I talking about an aspect of very bad marketing, I'm also going to talk about what's happening with me. I can't talk about it enough. So, red ribbons. The factual truth about this, and thanks to my family and certain members of my family always keeping things on hand and all this wonderful stuff, negatives, videos, whatever, we have more pieces to this story. But the red ribbons, my grandmother tied a red ribbon, tinier than this obviously, on my training pants or my diaper, depending on what stage I was in, and fastened it with a patron saint and a safety pin to my training pants diaper. And she did that with all the girls in the family, including my mother and her sister and me, and et cetera, to protect their virginity. Now, the patron saint was supposed to protect virginity. It didn't. So here's the thing, you know, I had a thing with Catholicism, even though we were raised that way, and Jewish, go figure. They actually can mesh very nicely if you know about Messianic Christianity, Messianic Judaism, is that the right term? I should know. So, it's really beautiful, actually. But, you know, so I had a thing against Catholicism. And as I got older, it was just like, why? And all of the things that happened. But I turned it in a tragedy over triumph, from tragedy to triumph. It's all this. So this does not symbolize evil. It symbolizes triumph and good. Because I looked at what happened to me, and you'll read my books, or you'll look at my videos and you'll say, she's still wrestling with forgiving her grandfather. Well, yeah, it's forgiveness is a choice. I have to push it. I have to push unforgiveness away, like the waves that come onto the ocean shore and they go back. It's like this. And I have to make a conscious decision, like when stuff like this bad, anything happens, I have to make a decision. No, I am going to forgive my grandfather. And you know what? Even though I said that I didn't forgive him years ago, I still did, because I was still in his presence. He was still, you could tell, uneasy around me because he knew what he did. And same with my mother. But we were working on it. We found so many pictures, and you can see it in our faces, and videos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is priceless. There was forgiveness there, and I didn't get to face him and say, hey, you did this horrible thing to me, you did this horrible thing to my mother, you need to pay a price, and blah, 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 whatever. I never got to say, hey, why don't you ask me for forgiveness? Hey, why don't you work on it? He was just doing it. Yeah. I realize that now. And you guys are going to love the sequels and the other volumes to Red Ribbons, the adult version.
1 minute.
1 minute. Okay, you know what? Why don't we call it quits here and go on to part 2, and then you're going to go do something?
Yes.
Okay, and then you're going to come back?
Yes.
Okay, so let me do part 2 by myself then. I know you're going to be around here, but I know you've got something to do. So, beautifuls and beloveds, come back for part 2 of Scheherazade, a modern day slavery tale. Okay.